forests,
animals,
the earth itself.
with peace between and inside countries.
Where all governments are open.
And answer to us for what they do at home and abroad.
And the justice rules.
With everyone equal before the law.
where all countries and we their people
work together
in partnerships of all kinds
to make these goals a reality.
For everyone, everywhere.
These are the United Nations global goals
for sustainable development.
Let's get to work.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to believe that we are having a fantastic afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I trust that you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, can you confirm in the chat that you can hear me? Please type in the chats that you can hear me if you can hear me. Oh, this man, fantastic. This man can hear me. Yes. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I like to believe your day has been great. I like to believe it has been a fantastic week so far. Thank God it's Friday, right? PGIF. Yeah. Yes. Sustainable greetings to you all in your respective locations. I see quite a number of persons on the call. I see some fun from Cameroon. I see Esther from Kenya. I can also see Abdullah from Nigeria. I see Limfo from South Africa. I see Erodi from Zambia. And yes, I see a host of others too live on the session with us this afternoon. So on behalf of the SDGs Campus Ambassadors Program, the team members and HEDF Africa as a whole, you're all welcome to today's workshop. Of course, we'd like to believe that our last section was such a great and insightful one. And definitely we are here to learn again this afternoon. And we are sure that we are going to be having quite a better session even today. So for us to have a confirmation and be sure that the last session was indeed a great one, before we proceed to today's topic, I would like to be sure of the kind of participants that we have on the session, especially being that we had leaders in the making. I want to quickly see in the chat box who would be able to remind us of the topic that was considered as of the last section. Let's see who takes the lead. I want to be sure that we are following up with everything that we are doing on the program. So which typing? What was the topic that we had on the last session? Yeah, Emmanuel from Kenya. It says project and community development. Oh, Isman from Nigeria says project management and community development. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. That is to show us that our participants are intentional about their learning journey, and definitely the sessions are making the rightful impact that is expected on us. Further, we would like to hear from about maybe 2 to 3 persons who will be willing to unmute their mic, any 2, 3 volunteers who would like to, tell us what their take home from the last section was, what they learned. So I need like 2, 3 volunteers that would be willing to share with us their whatever they learned from the last section. So if you're that volunteer, kindly use the raise hand option. And yes, we'll grant you the permission to unmute and share with us your thoughts. Any volunteers yet? Any volunteers yet? Oh, great. Usman, yes. Yes, you can speak to us now. What did you learn from the last session?
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone.
Fantastic afternoon to you.
So my take home from last section was what project management entails about. It is not just about delivering tasks on time or within budget. It is mostly about creating a meaningful impact in the society.
Yeah.
And also, project management is a set of skills, attitude, experience, and knowledge and tools that we apply to a project to meet our project goals in order for the project to be successful. And so the project management falls into 5 key areas. That's to initiate the project, which is the first one. Then you have to plan the project. Then after you plan the project, you go on to execute the project. And after you've done the execution of the project, you monitor and you control your project before you finally close the project. And that is handling the project to the community who are going to use the project. Thank you, sir.
Yay! All claps for Usman. Yes, yes, yes. That's a fantastic one. Of course, it's not always difficult to identify the professors in every section. So that's a great one, Usman. Do keep it up. Yes, I see another hand there. I see Emmanuel from Kenya. Emmanuel, you can unmute your mic and give us your feedback. Share your thoughts with us.
Hello, I hope I'm audible enough.
Yeah, maybe you can just give it a little more volume.
Hello.
Yes, please go on, speak, Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you. Hello, thank you for this session. I believe Usman has given us an overview of exactly what we learned, but I'll just state the key takeaways that I got myself from the whole training. The first one was that data analytics is a foundational subject in project and management and community development. So it is very important to build your data analytics skills in order to effectively manage projects and especially community-based projects. Also, my other key takeaway was that when undertaking a project, whether it's a personal or community project, organizational project, it is important to tie your activities to processes and not people, such that if a key person for, let's say, a specific project is absent, you'll still be able to undertake the project effectively without much loss or incursion of more, without you needing to use more resources than you would have used otherwise. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Emmanuel. And yeah, that shows how much you've been intentional about learning on the program. And for each and every other person too that would like to share their thoughts with us, their take home from the last section, you can drop your thoughts, your take homes, your learning areas in the chat, and we definitely would catch it from there. And yes, we sincerely appreciate your feedback and responses. And right about now, we would like to invite our facilitator for today, who is already with us on the call for our presentation. However, before we hand over to her, I would like to quickly read out a bio. And of course, I know you can be rest assured that we are always deliberate about the kind of facilitators that we have come speak to you on each and of our programs. And yeah, today, this afternoon, again, we have one of the industry's finest, a key expert, who is no other but Dr. Aderisola Adio Adepoju. But before you see Doctor's face or hear a voice, I want to read out the profile of Dr. Aderisola. And yes, Aderisola Adio Adepoju is a multi-potentialite excelling as an educator, coach, academic, entrepreneur, and SDGs and global opportunities expert with a strong dedication to youth and women empowerment through skill acquisition. She champions the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals. Having served as an unleashed ambassador in both 2021 and 2022, as well as the UPG Sustainability Leader of 2021, Dr. Aderisola Adio Adepoju's remarkable journey includes securing over 35 global opportunities, such as grants, awards, business labs, innovation labs, and fellowships that have taken her across 5 continents. Her impact extends to training over 40,000 youths across Africa, equipping them with knowledge on the Sustainable Development Goals and the path to global opportunities through our programs. As the founder of iTrain Africa, an e-tech social enterprise, our vision revolves around cultivating a generation of African youths armed with the knowledge, skills, and direction to shape a promising future. You would agree with me, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a great profile, and we are very lucky to have Dr. Aderisola with us on the call this afternoon. And I want to believe that it is your delight to welcome her to this section with me this afternoon. So I want to see how you're welcoming her in the chat with your reactions, with your messages. Let's do well to welcome Dr. Aderisola. Yes, Dr. Aderisola, you're welcome. It's a beautiful afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mayowa. Thank you so much for having me this afternoon. And good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. So, Dr. Aderisola, I would leave it to you now. You have the floor for the next 45 minutes for us to enjoy a fantastic presentation of yours. And afterwards, we'll come back to take question and answers. And yes, it will be a great one for all of us.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's start with, I like to, so if you are here, you know me online somehow, please just put yes in the comment section. If you know me before now, just put yes in the comment section. I would like to know. Okay, there's Abubakar Junad, yes, ma'am. Okay. So there might be quite a number of people who has probably listened to me before now. So let's go. Mayowa introduced me. I'm Aderinsola Adepoju, and today I'll be taking you on design thinking and innovation, which is something I'm really, well, I said, number one, I have expertise around. Number two, it's one of those things that I like to say it's a must-have for everyone, because I said in this time and age where AI is taking over technology, or is taking over a lot of youth critical thinking, ability to think is becoming very scarce these days. So I dare to say that it is the people that have that ability to think critically that will end up being the people that are leading in any industry that they are, because the conventional things that we do, that we used to use our thinking for, is fast becoming replaced by AI. So the question is, what are those things that AI won't replace? I always say, when push comes to shove, you need to do research, you need to be able to find information from the market. Like, you would still need to actually think about the process. So it is that process of thinking that I am going, but this time around, process of thinking with regards to innovation. And what is really innovation is, I always say, is when you create something that is solving people's problem. That is my simple definition of innovation. It doesn't have to be tech. It doesn't have to have all those beautiful, beautiful things involved, as in, or all the things our tech bro and sis we think is innovation. I always say innovation is simply when you create something that solves people's problem, then you are being innovative. Innovation just happens when you solve people's problem. Now let's get right into my slide. All that introduction, I'm just going to skip it. So, but if you have to define me in one word, I would say I'm an educator. Even if I say so myself, I think I'm the greatest educator of all time. I've been educating since forever, and I've taught a lot of lives in Africa. So now to the topic, design thinking and innovation. The first thing you must understand is, like I said, I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, right? So I always ask people, or I always say this at the beginning of every of my lesson. I'll say, what is the learning objective? What do we hope to take out of this session? At the end of this session, what should you say you have done or you have taken out of this session in terms of learning? I don't want you to come here. If your main reason for coming to this particular thing is so you can mark attendance and say, oh, the IDF will give me certificates, so just let me attend this session, I can mark attendance. Please leave this room right now, because this session is not one of those things that you come here with the mindset of, I want to mark attendance. This session, or this particular subject I'm talking about, which is design thinking and innovation, literally changed my life in 2018. And I am not joking with you. So if you are multitasking right now, please drop everything you are doing and pay attention. When I say it literally changed my life, I mean it in every sense of the word. And the first time I came in contact with design thinking was the Unleash Innovation Lab in Singapore in 2018, where I was put in an innovation lab with like 1,000 talents from 110 countries, and we were taught the design thinking process for innovation. And I think it is from that point forward in my life that I realized that every single thing I do, I think about it from a design thinking point of view. So, and yes, people pay me a lot of money to learn this from me or to help them go through this process, a lot of money running into millions. So please pay attention. Yeah, getting it for free doesn't mean it's free. My time is really precious. I really want you to learn, take it away. It's going to be short, 30 minutes, in fact, if I can. And what you take out of it is what is currently on the screen. Your ability to think critically and in a logical manner when it comes to, I want to create solutions to people's problems. And why is it even important? When you create solutions to people's problems, money will be running after you. Recognition will run after you. Everything you probably desire will run after you. So you need to learn the process on how to create solutions for people so that those things will run after you, not you chasing after them. Now, what is design thinking? Design thinking
Is she gone, or is it just me?
I think it's the network.
Oh, yeah. Please, let's just give it a few minutes, and I'm sure she'll be back with us right now.
Okay, great. In Africa. So just confirm you can still see my screen, please. Please confirm you can still see my screen, Mayowa.
Yes, I can still see your screen, ma.
Okay, so I was just saying, design thinking is a problem-solving methodology that prioritizes understanding the needs of users or customers, challenging assumptions, redefining problems to identify innovative solutions. That is what it is. It's a human-centered approach. That is what I want you to take note of. Human-centered approach to innovation that integrates the needs of people, the possibilities of technology, and the requirements for business success. It is widely used in various industries, including technology, healthcare, education, beyond, and tackle complex problems or complex challenges to drive innovation. Again, I said, your ability to solve problems is what can make you rich. It's what can gain you recognition, you solving the right problems. And that is what design thinking justifies. What I want you to hold in this particular slide is it is a human-centered approach. A what? A human-centered approach. Now you are soon going to know. Why is this important? Albert Einstein said, if I had 1 hour to solve a problem, I'll spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solutions. I want you to pause and think critically about that. Meaning, I will spend 90% of the time I have to think about the problem. Unfortunately, many people these days, they wake up one morning and say, I have an idea. How many of you in this room have said that over and over? I have an idea. You want to start a business, you say, I have an idea. And I ask you, what is your problem? Why have you not started that thing? Say, oh, that my idea is the best thing since sliced bread. The only challenge I have is money. If you're in this room and you think the only challenge that you have to do your business is money, then you do not know that problem enough. And I am not joking. And this is not motivation. I'm going to show you a step-by-step approach to why I say you do not know the business you want to create well. That is why you are saying the only challenge you have is money, right? So why do I say this? Why did Albert Einstein say this? It is because many people wake up and say, I want to start a business. If that is your approach, dump it right now. Dump it, open your window and throw it outside the door. You know why? Even if that business will make you some change, you cannot scale it. And that is provided there's even a problem your business is solving. You can't scale it. And trust me, I ran a fashion business for 10 years. I closed it down in 2020 during COVID. Why? I finally realized that even if I was making decent money for that particular business, I couldn't scale it. Why? I did not genuinely do this to start that business. So when I finally got into that line of, doing that, then I asked myself, whose problem am I really solving? Then I realized I was stuck. The moment you cannot answer that question, you are stuck. So even if the next Iyabisi John on your street is going to come and buy from your provision store that you are going to hope, he's going to come and buy from that, oh, I'm starting a consulting business. It's going to approach you. Ask yourself, can I build this thing into an Amazon? Can I build it into an Amazon? Now, it is really important that you pay attention to whose problem am I solving, which is why they say design thinking is a human-centered approach to solving complex challenges, global problems that is not just you that have it, or it's not just your daddy, your mommy, your sister, your brother, someone in your neighborhood that has it. I'm talking about challenges that are facing the world, that people will give you anything, will pay you anything to just give them a solution to. Whatever business you decide to create today or to launch out today, it must be a solution, not a product. If your product is not a solution to somebody's Panadol problem, you are not innovating. You are only doing stomach infrastructure. You are helping yourself get by. That is not innovation. Innovation, I repeat, in simple terms, is when you find solutions to these problems. Innovation is when you find a solution to people's problems. That is what innovation is. Now, again, you'll be wondering, oh, she's spending a lot of time in this problem thing. Please go back to what Albert Einstein said. If you have 1 hour, spend 55 minutes on the problem. This is what you call the design thinking approach to innovation, where you have a 5-step methodology. You have the empathize, you have the define. Nigeria or Motayo Sahid is probably your volume. My volume is very clear here. Please, any other person that thinks my volume of this thing is low. My volume is very clear here. So now, as I was saying, empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. You know what is funny is, you see that step of define, defining your problem and establishing the users that have your problem. It is a critical step. There is a methodology that was taught in Unleash Innovation Lab on how to define your problem. It is called the 5 whys. I won't delve into that, but you can Google that. 5 whys means you ask why 5 times. And I will give you an example. If I say graduates are not employable, I always use this example because I'm an EdTech founder. I'm solving the problem of global employability amongst Africans, right? That is what my EdTech, I Train Africa is about, upskilling people for global employability. Now, if I say graduates in Africa or 45% of graduates in Nigeria do not have jobs, that is a problem, right? I will not start and say, an average person on the street will say, I want to establish a training school. That's what an average person will say. You say, I want to, or the person will say, oh, girl cannot find job. They will say, oh, I want to establish an HR company or something to help people write their CV. Because why? Another person will say, damn, you did not find job. It's because your CV is not good. That is probably what an average thinker will do, that did not go through the innovation process. Oh, your CV is not good. Let me help you rewrite your CV. Your CV is going to look great. Then they give you the CV. Then you take the CV to an interview, especially when it is an interview that is global in nature. That your very fine CV that you use maybe $50 to even do, you come back and you still don't get a job. Because why? The person that did the CV for you is treating this problem at the surface. The question should have been, if you cannot even write your own CV, why do you deserve that job? You don't have the skill set, the soft skills to write your own CV about yourself. Why do you deserve the job? So the problem was addressed at the surface. The person was treating the symptoms, not the root cause. So when you are in the design thinking process, you do 5 whys and say, graduates, an average graduate, 1 in 2 graduates in Africa isn't employed. In the 5 whys, you will say, why? Until you get to the 5th why, do not recommend a solution. Do not recommend a solution, because it has to be like, graduates do not have jobs in Africa. You will say, why? You say, oh, because there are no, as in, or you say because they are not employable, because I don't agree that there are no jobs. I could share my screen with you right now and I'll just put this thing on LinkedIn and I'll be seeing project manager, 7,000 plus open jobs. There are jobs. Some people keep re-advertising. I've been trying to hire for the longest time, so there are jobs. I'm not of the school of thought that there are no jobs. So when people say, oh, it is because whenever I interview this graduate, they don't have, they are not employable. Then I ask, why are graduates not employable? After all, they've gone to school. That is the, how many why? Ask, please follow me in this. I will say why 5 times to get to the root bottom. Now, all this is going to be done in the defining the problem phase, asking yourself 5 whys. But then let's continue in the slide. Let's start with step 1. In your design thinking approach, again, remind yourself, why am I listening to Dr. AAA today? Ask yourself again, it is because money chase people that have solutions to people's problem. If someone has a toothache and they cannot sleep, if they said there is only one doctor that can remove that teeth, you will carry all your life savings and give that doctor. Because why? He has the solution to your problem. In my academy, I have things I will give out for free. I have things I will give out, I will sell for 37,000. I have programs I will sell for 2 million. And people will pay me. You know why? I understand their problem. And I would I have charged up to 4.5 million for a coaching. And I'm the same person that will give free. Why? Value. When people's problems, they pay you. So just in case you have forgotten the reason you are going through this slide with me, remember that. You need to create products that are solutions, not stomach infrastructure. Now, understanding the needs, the emotion, the motivation of people who are using or who will end up using your product and your service. You need to conduct interviews. You need to observe. You need to carry out research. You need to get insights. You tell me, I want to sell, I don't know, just anything. And I will ask you, who is your ideal customer? Be like, I just want to sell to people, no money. Or and I'm like, what? How do you speak the language of the person? When it is time for you to market that product, you would fail if you skip this step. And let's be clear, let's just establish something. Marketing is the lifeblood, is the blood of any business. You can have a great product. You can have a great product and not sell because the right people are not seeing it. Let's be clear. So when it is time for you to sell that product to millions of people, if you jump this stage, you will not sell. Because you did not know, you did not carry out research on what is the pain point, what is paining the person you want to sell that, as you want to sell that thing to. You did not. And you know, the funny thing is sometimes you have a great idea. By the time you start doing market research, you will discover that that problem is not, like, that idea is not even a great one. Because by the time you discover, it's like you saying, you go to the north and you say, oh, ladies or girls in the north don't go to school. I want to solve their problem. Then you go and build the finest of classroom right in the middle of the distance. You're not like, these people, despite there is this thing, there is this thing, they are not going to school. You will not be asking yourself, why are they not still coming? Even if you make it free. It is because you did not go and do your market research and ask the right questions. Why are they not going to school? Is it for lack of school? Is it because the school is not beautiful? Is it because they don't have teachers? But you just carry yourself and go and say, yes, I'm the Messiah, I'm the philanthropist. You establish something. Which is why you see many NGOs starting these days without mission, without ambition, without direction. Because they are starting what they did not do market research about. If you like, offer something for free. You've not seen people hold free webinars online and no one will show up. It is about, do you know what is paying them? Now, at the step 2 of the design thinking, assuming you've done all your market research, oh, these people have this problem, this is happening, that is happening. This is the stage I was explaining earlier. You now define. Kenya Alexander, please stop drawing on my screen. You need to define based on all the things you gather. You need to define it. When you are gathering, doing your research, you don't need to define what exactly, because when you are doing research, you will hear a lot of things. You need to listen, pay attention. Because you already think you have a great idea, you have a tendency to be biased. Because why? You think your idea, again, as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing new under the sun. When I hear youths or people say, they stole my idea, I say, get out. Which idea? Did they go drop the idea in your head? They dropped it in the head of 1,000 people. Now, who executes fast? Is the first person that executes. So instead of you romanticizing an idea that might not even be great, when you finally launch into the market, please apply design thinking. I would say, oh, create in silence. When you create in silence, I will launch out. Everybody will see the. I think you can create in silence and create rubbish. You can build in silence and build rubbish. If you have probably asked someone and said, oh, this thing, I'm doing a rubber, will you buy this thing from me? What is your problem? They would have probably tell you, that thing, don't do it. Or in this community, people don't buy that kind of thing. But in your mind, you are building in silence. You don't want to tell anybody. And look, you can have been selling something for the longest time. And I will come into the market, I will overtake you. You know why? I probably spent 90% of my time in the problem definition phase. Why? I wanted to ensure that by the time I get to stage 3, which is ideation. What is ideation? That is where you now say, I have an idea. That is the ideation phase, stage 3. Ideation is stage 3. I have an idea is stage 3 of innovation. So before you get to I have an idea, did you empathize? Did you do all the research? Did you define the problem? You need, this involves this particular thing. I keep emphasizing, and I will tell you a story. At this particular point, you need to reframe the problem in a way that focuses on the user's needs and aspiration. The users, again, I redefine it. It is a user-centric approach to innovation. That is what design thinking is. Get off your high horse and stop making yourself the alpha and omega of your innovation or of your idea. Hello? You are building a product that you want somebody else to use. Or maybe if you are building for yourself, fine. But don't make yourself the center of your product. This product, I'm the first person that innovated it. You will not buy your own products. You will not buy millions of your own products. So remove yourself from the innovation and focus on the most important part of the equation, the person that has the problem. The person that has the problem is the person who is going to pay you. Now, when you have identified at the research stage the person that has the problem, the person that has this problem, you will now say, now I know your problem. See, it is paining you. By the time because when I was asking you all those questions at the empathizer, you say, how is this thing paining you? When does it start to pain you? In the middle of the night. What have you used? You will say, somebody gave me a somebody gave me this. You would have told me everything that is your problem. The day I start to market, I will say, brother with the teeth pain that keeps visiting Akbajebu. Are you not tired of not sleeping every night and your neighbors are saying, why are you mad? What is wrong with you? The day the person sees that advert, the person's heart will be beating because this is me. This is me they are talking to. This is my problem. Hey, the person does not care how much you want to call it. The person will say, I beg, can I pay you small? I don't have the money I can borrow. That is where you have created a solution that people are ready to borrow to pay you. That is when you have created a solution. I will now finish explaining the 5 whys. I gave you an example of the other time about why as 5 whys. So I said before, graduates are not employed. You will say why? You will say because they don't have, they are not employable. They are jobs, but when you interview them, they cannot, they just don't fit into the job. You now say why? That's how many why? God, why? You now say, because they don't have the right skill set, like the soft skills and the hard skills that they can use to do the job. Or even they don't even have the soft skill to compose their own CV well. They don't have the soft skill to even send me a proper application email. You now say, but they are graduates. Why don't they have these skills? The 4th why? Because they did not teach them in the curriculum when they were going to school in the university. Let's say, when the technology was not yet here, but now technology is here. Do you understand? You now say, why has the curriculum not been amended? Because they are still trying to innovate, create a curriculum that will match this particular generation. You now know what you're not going to go on because you've asked why up to the 5th time. You now say, okay. So if graduate, the reason why they're not employed is this, then it would mean that I need to create a kind of curriculum that will be able to teach these graduates. Then you know, if you ask the 5 whys right, you will discover that you will start your solution from the bottom up. Because at the bottom, you now say, let me create a solution. Because at the root, again, I repeat, stop treating symptoms. If you asked why the first time, I said, the guys are not getting jobs. You say, why? Because they are not employable. And you get to the 3rd one. Why? Because they cannot even write their own CV. They don't have the soft skill to even write their CV. You can open a CV writing center. Guess what? You've not solved the main solution of why graduates are not employed. Because guess what? You write that CV, they will still not get a job. You are treating the symptom. But imagine someone like me, I Train Africa, that have now gone to do the 5 whys. And I say, at the bottom of this thing, it is because everybody is shouting graduates do not have skills to get employed. They do not have this thing. They do not have all the skills. When you get them on the job, the only thing they have is certificates. They don't have any other skill. They cannot do the work for me. And certificates will not do the job. Certificates will not do the job. It is skills that will do the job. And I say, me, I have now gone ahead to say, now I understand what is going to happen. I will go and create and ask every employer that is tired of not finding skilled workers. I'll go and ask the graduate himself, what don't you know? When you go to interview on your job, are you struggling? I will do all my market research. I will now go back, go and create what I know is the solution, which is what I don't even call it the soft skills curriculum. I call it the workplace foundational skills. The foundational skills that everybody needs in every aspect of their life. I will now go and create it and bring it out and launch something. I call it what? Skilled for Work Academy, where you will become globally employable by learning all the soft skills an employer wants, or all the workplace foundational skills an employer wants. See, you see that person that probably started a CV agency 3 years ago. The person will be making cash, will be making money because he said, I'm doing CV for 1,000, 2,000 people and everything like that. Guess what? Me that went through the stress of creating that thing, the day I launch my solution and I start to, my solution is not going to be reaching just one graduate that is applying for a job. It will not be reaching like almost all the graduates that are going to the university. Because why? I am now, like, I will teach them the skills that will make them be able to write their own CV amongst other things. So give me 5 years, I will be taking a lot of CV writers out of business because I went down to address it from the root cause. Do you understand what I just explained to you? At the end of the day, me that is at the bottom of the chain will eliminate people that provided solutions as symptoms on the long run. Which I say, you might be earning cash when you create solutions at the surface, at the peripheral, but you would not last. You would not create the kind of thing you want to outlive you. You won't. And because I will probably not even explain this in a, how do I explain it? In you need to understand, when I'm explaining things like I said, you need to be in the SDG space. You need to be thinking about how do I create solutions to global problem? How do I scale? I don't explain things like this to people that don't have impact-focused ambition, people that don't think big. I say I want to create the Africa. If you get to my LinkedIn bio, it says, on a mission to ensure 10 million Africans are employable by 2030. 10 million, and I'm not joking. So somebody will say, this woman is just saying 10 million. That's what they do motivational speaker. Whereas, guess what? I'm just smiling because why? I have a blueprint. I did the work. So when somebody was running to go and create, I'm just looking at the person like, you will come back. Because when I come, I'm eliminating you from that value chain. I'm eliminating you from that value chain. When I have probably maybe you will go and pay the person's $50, whereas I will give you a course, so a curriculum that will not only teach you CV writing, we teach you cover writing, we teach you how to write emails at work, we teach you how to use Slack at work, we teach you how to work collaboratively remotely. That means I'm giving you 1,000 times the value at the same amount of time. Who is going to outlive you? Many people have is, I cannot go through this process. I want to make it now. Fast money. I will tell you one story before I leave this slide. When I was in Singapore, we were divided into teams. I was in a team of 5. Myself from Nigeria, there was Austria, there was United States, there was Australia, and one more person I've forgotten. Then later, we were really frustrated. It was an 8-day innovation session. And 4 days, we were on problem definition. Step 2. And we were looking at it. 4 days, we spent it on one this thing. And we said, we don't want to rush. So let's create idea. Let's create solution. Then Leila said, she came to us. She said, don't do it. And we said, why? She said, too many solutions, too many products make it into the markets. Then they start finding a problem to solve. Too many products, meaning many people start a business, then they start finding who has the problem that will buy it. Then when they cannot find, they start to, let me create a problem so that at least I can sell my solution. That is a hard way. That is very hard to do. It is not scalable. He said, so don't be that person who is creating a solution that is not the problem of anyone. He said, it is better you spend all your time in defining your problem. You don't, and because there was a pitching competition, say you don't have to win in this innovation lab, but you really need to win in life. Because at the end of the day, that is the person that really wins. And it was from that point I told myself, I would rather spend time in understanding the problem, because I have seen it happen over and over. When I use this method to innovate, if I like, I sleep, I close my business for 1 year and come back, I will still sell. Because the people that have my problem, do you know how many Africans graduate in Nigeria alone every year? 500,000. Do you know how many people are in Africa? All of you in this room are probably my ideal customer. If I sell my product to you now, you probably buy. Because why? I gathered the problem of all of you while I was creating the solution. Now, when you get to stage 3, ideate. The common one, you know, I'm not going to spend my time on, because everybody has an idea. Now, there's also a proper way to do to set up an idea. There's a proper way to set up an idea. It is not, like when you get to the ideation, and please, I want to mention something. The design thinking is an iterative methodology. Like it is iterative, like it is, it's not linear. You have, like, you can have gotten to ideation and you will go back to first stage, like, because you might get to idea. You are generating 10 ideas in 10 minutes, one idea per 1 minute. Then you will realize that all the ideas you generated, it will not work. It will not work. You will now say, let's go back to the market. Let's go and ask the audience. Let's go and ask the audience. That is what happens most of the time. So design thinking is non-linear. I'll give you an example. When I was creating, I have an academy, it's called Skilled for Work Academy. The first time, the next stage is prototyping. I'll tell you what the prototype is. But let me use that language now first. The first time I put someone in my curriculum development this thing, 2021, it was my cousin. I did it in an immersive way. He was living with me, he was learning from me. After his own sessions, I started to say, okay, let me use external people. The moment I said, oh, this person has passed through my curriculum, this is what they learned in 3 months, I was changing it. Sometimes I would go back to the market. Guess what? I tested my solution. After I knew that this was the solution. And how did I even know this was the solution? I was having a challenge employing. Every single time I'm employing, I was angry. I will employ them, they cannot do the work. I will teach them 3 months, they will run away. They will not be very skilled at work. I said, then one day I sat down, I said, wait, Jerry, why is it that for everybody you train on the job within 3 months, they are skilled enough to get another job? And because I was a startup, I did not even have the money to pay them well. Do you understand? I said, Then I sat down one day, I said, hey, Jerry, you have a gold mine. You know how to teach. You know what to teach. You have been an employer of labor for over 10 years. You know what they are lacking. You are educated. You are well-traveled. You have, like, my superpower is clarity. I can help you achieve clarity in 1 hour, even if you've been confused all your life. Do you understand? So I said, I have all the qualities of a good teacher. I know what I want to teach. And I have the exposure to teach you. I said, this is why they are coming and going. Right? Thank you very much, Aida. And I said to myself, I said, okay, let me start it. I started to test it. Then in 2023, I said, okay, after doing testing for a while, and in the case of innovation, they will say you build a prototype. A prototype is like something like a small product, they call it an MVP, minimum viable product. Like the simplest format of your product that you want to build, they will say, build it, test it, and see if people will pay you. One of the things you must confirm in your process must be, are people willing to, because you can create a product, people are willing to use it, but they're not willing to pay. So first I had users that did not pay. Then in 2023, I had users that paid me 300,000 for that workplace foundational skills. Then I said, okay, I have something that people can pay me 300,000 naira for to learn it, workplace foundational skills. So I created multiple ideas, then refined it, which is stage 4. I refined it, built what was my prototype? Then I said, any tech bro and sis that I said that you'll be hearing prototype, you will be thinking until you build something that is like a phone. You must have, it's a lie. A prototype is the minimum version of whatever it is you are creating. If you are trying to create a water is what you are trying to do this thing. You know, say, oh, I want to create water that is going to be blue in color and everything. Your minimum viable product is just water that is probably in a sachet. Like, what is the minimum viable product? Meaning a product that has the necessary things or the basic things that will solve the problem for your user. Every other thing. What? When they created phone, what do you think a phone was? Minimum viable product. Any phone that can do green is a minimum viable product. Every other thing, we can chat, we can text. Phone's minimum viable product is for communication. So any phone that somebody can, what's all this thing? What Motorola? Those days that we started using phone, Motorola with this thing on top, big phone, and Nokia. It was still a phone. It was the minimum viable product. For the now, adding Android, adding chat, adding everything. The phone still sold. That is a prototype. Create anything, because why? At that time, our major problem in terms of what we were having was we could not communicate on the go. The moment somebody created something that we could use to communicate on the go, it did not matter if it was bulky. It was a minimum, but create a prototype. Which is why I say, if your problem is, I have this, I don't have money. I said, I used my cousin to test my curriculum. He was supposed to pay me, but he did not even pay me. So meaning I was teaching him, he was learning, he decided to work for me and everything like that. What did it take me to create a curriculum? The knowledge I had, that is my minimum viable product. Do you understand me? I did not say, oh, I don't have a workspace where I can put people, I can put graduates to be learning. I did 2021, 2022. It was October 2022. I rented the office space. 2023, and I said, now that I have office space, now let me advertise the product. Let people come. Let people come and pay me. They now paid me 300K. They came to learn in my physical space. When it was now at the end of 2023, I said, these people refined. I've tested 9 demographics of people. Recent graduates, NYC, teenager, 17-year-old waiting for JAM, undergraduate, artisan, entrepreneur. I've tested like the wide range. People that have worked before came to learn, paid 300,000 and said, oh, I don't have workplace skills. I am rusty at my job. I cannot. These are people that they first gone to do MBA. They now came back to say that thing I want to learn is workplace skills. Then the people now came back and paid me. And I said, yes, now I have finished testing. 3 years. I was not scaling. Why? I was collecting money at a small rate to ensure my curriculum was it was solid. 3 years. Somebody has started an online school since then. They have made their money. They probably even made maybe up to 100 million. Give me time. I can bet you this time next year, I'm like, just mark this day and say, Dr. Aderinsola said so in our session today. The next time you are hearing skilled for work, maybe this time next year, it's going to be a global, like everyone knows about the Workplace Foundational Skills Program. Why? I have what that person does not have. Even if somebody decides today to come and start what I'm starting, you cannot get 3 years of testing experience the same way I have it. Yeah, I say, when you follow the design thinking process, it might not take that long for you to test, please. Why? I was testing like all demographics, and I was using 3 to 6 months to test them. I'm like, look, your testing can be 6 weeks. It can even be one week. Do you understand? Depending on what you are innovating. But I'm just saying, if I wanted to solve the problem of unemployability in Africa amongst literate youth, I needed, because when people start to drill me at the global side, I needed to say, I have tested it on an entrepreneur across 3 months. I have tested it on someone that had MBA, that has a professional experience, there's an artisan. My demographic, I needed to be able to stand up and say it works across board. So, which is why I did that. Now, the last stage, stage 5, testing is what I just explained. Test it, test it, test it. I was testing, I was collecting feedback. I was testing, I was collecting feedback. If I share my screen with you, on the initial curriculum I used on Kule, and what I finally have now at the workplace foundational skill, you'll be like, oh, wow, a lot has evolved. Yes. Because why? I was listening to the people that had the problem. I was listening to the people that had the problem. I repeated that on purpose. In the entire spectrum of design thinking, the user is the most important thing. Thank you very much. I will take questions.
Wow. Is somebody appreciating doctor in the chat box already? Is somebody saying thank you, thank you, thank you already? Is somebody doing that already? Honestly, this is a whole lot of value, whole lot of knowledge, in fact, if we are to pay for this, I don't know what would be the price. Thank you so much. We are so glad to have all the knowledge you have shared with us this evening, this afternoon. We sincerely appreciate you. And I believe all the participants on the call this afternoon are already a better person than they came. They are not disappointed at all. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. So right about now, we'll be taking questions. So if you have 1 or 2 questions to ask, kindly use the raise hand option to indicate why we call you, then you'll be given the permission to unmute yourself. So please, while you are asking your question, you have just 30 seconds to ask your question. Ensure you also ask questions that is related to the topic of discussion. So please, if you have question, you can use the chat box, or you simply put up your hand while I call you to ask a question. So while we are preparing for that, once again, on behalf of ADF Africa, we want to sincerely appreciate Doctor for the value she has dished out this afternoon. This is beyond what we can actually pay for, of course. And we are all here and we sat down just getting the value that some people are paying over 300,000 for. So we sincerely appreciate you for this. So do we have question waiting? You can make use of the chat box, or you simply put up your hand and you'll be given the permission to unmute. Okay, so I have 2 hands up already. Confident.
Question from Kenya, Vincent, in the chat box.
Okay, so let's have the question from Vincent Kenya in the chat box. So I'll read from here. How can you encourage brainstorming sections to be more productive and generate true innovative ideas? So would you like to take like 3 questions before you answer, Ma, or you have like to take them one after the other?
Let me take 3 questions, then I take them together.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you, Ma. So please, confidence Samuel, kindly actually you ought to rename yourself properly with your country before I can call you. But for the sake of time, I will just pardon you. So do well to ask a question within 30 seconds and straight to the point. Confidence, let's have you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ma. I really enjoy your class. It's a great opportunity to learn this. Okay, my question is, as an entrepreneur, having a business idea in your mind and the rest. You've planned everything and you know the problems of people in the society. You want to solve them, you want to bring out a good innovation. Okay, in the aspect of saying, if you said if you don't have money, that is not the problem. Because how I want to like relate, I want to know, because some might have idea in their mind, but there's no money to solve this problem. Because before you go into a business, getting the product, producing it, and the rest, it actually requires money. So I don't know how to start up this thing without money. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to deal with it? Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you, Confidence, for that question. So let's have Trevor from South Africa. Kindly unmute yourself and ask a question within 30 seconds.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, ma'am, for the constructive lecture or presentation. I just want to ask, I mean, do you follow the same process for product and service design? I just want to know whether you follow processes for these two things, for product and for service, because I would maybe reckon that for product, there might be some differences, especially when it comes to prototyping as compared to service. Do you follow the same steps and the same protocols or principles? Thanks.
Thank you so much for that question. Over to you, Ma.
Thank you so much. So I'll start from the last one, which is when he said it is design thinking, this thing. The design thinking is a methodology, I will redefine it, that is used to solve complex problems, complex challenges. So what it means is anything at all that is a problem that will need a solution, design thinking methodology works. Whether you see all those tech bro that go to, they will say they are doing an accelerator, the Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley, they are innovating hardware, they are innovating software, they are innovating SaaS, that's software as a service, which is a service, right? They are innovating AI, they are innovating a product, a phone. And like Android now is a software, it is not a tangible, but the phone, it is a tangible. Do you understand? My innovation is an ed tech. I'm an ed tech founder, right? My innovation is a curriculum. It is not, I can hold it. But someone will come today and say, it's like the people that started this, what's it called? What's that popcorn, that red popcorn in Nigeria that you see inside traffic? It's an innovation because people were looking, people like Google, like all of us went to primary school and were buying the popcorn. Do you understand? But then we probably did not like the packaging of that popcorn when this thing. So probably the people that did that popcorn went to the market and said, you like popcorn? You say, I have to go to school to get popcorn. I have to that means it is not easily accessible. Also, I don't know, maybe when they are doing it, they are spitting on it. I like popcorn, all the problems all of us used to have with popcorn, they gathered it. Then they created popcorn, red popcorn, the right taste, the right everything. They packaged popcorn that is that all of us get in primary school that we used to buy for 30 naira. They started to sell their own 50 naira at a higher price. Do you know how much that red popcorn people made in their first year? Over 1 billion. Popcorn, 100 naira. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why? They first understood that we loved popcorn. The problem we had with the popcorn was, it was not right in our faces, but now they are coming traffic. Now, they did all their market analysis and all those things well. And they decided that their ideal people that they were going to put the products in their hand is people inside traffic. People inside traffic that you are going, that you are coming, you must buy. That is a product. It does not matter the industry. So far, there is a person that has your problem. That has a problem. Product, service, tangible, intangible, you must buy. It's like somebody going to maybe a VGC, an area where there's nobody stocking anything, nobody is selling anything. And some of us, like some people are living in high-brow areas, but they like to buy what's it called? Street food, like Boli, all those roasted plantain, but they cannot find it. Just let somebody notice that they are going to VGC in the garden, and everybody's to bring, I wish this Boli. I have to go to Bali. They all the way in Bali, I need to go and get this Boli. And someone just start Boli inside the estate one day. Do you know what the person just did? Innovation. There is problem that people can pay me for. I have solution. Take Boli spot in Lekki can be an innovation. Meaning you follow the 5 steps. You go and do market research. Who has a problem? What is their pain point? They like Boli. They cannot see Boli. Where they see Boli is inside gutter. They cannot eat it. They are rich people. No, that kind of thing. They will do all the market research. You now say, what exactly is the problem? People like, they will define the problem. When you're in an innovation lab, there's a way, like I said, the 5 why. I say, this person, like there's a methodology to having a problem statement. You say, rich people in eyebrow Lekki are always craving Boli because they grew up in areas where the Boli was accessible. But now they cannot access Boli at their distance because if they go there, they will kidnap them. Now, our solution is to bring the streets to the highbrow area by creating a Boli spot that has the same local taste, that has the same this thing. See, if you have ever wondered how people win pitch, like I'm a global opportunities expert, right? With pitch competition is their problem statements. They defined their problem statements well. In fact, I'm always concerned when people win pitch competition. In my mind, I'll be like, the only thing this person knows is how to use the design thinking process to create a fine PowerPoint slide and pitch it in terms of market. They can how you push that in is market. But if you can define problem well, you will win any grant competition, any pitch competition, you win it. So please, that's the first thing. Product, service as a tangible, intangible, food, edtech, any industry. If there is a problem, there will be an innovation. If there's an innovation, design thinking works. Now, to the person that said, and that now she has an idea. It's like you are not listening to me. Like you said, you have an idea and money. As you think, if you don't have money, what should you now do? I'll give you a perfect example. When I was going to start I Train Africa in 2020, I knew I wanted to solve the problem of Africa. Standard. I wanted to educate. Standard. Me in Nigeria, how will I reach someone in South Africa? Like, how was I going to distribute my products to everybody across Africa? It meant that my problem as at then was I lacked knowledge on how my products, my knowledge was going to become like distributed. Then as I was surfing the internet, I discovered that through online courses, I could create online courses, one online course one time, and send it to millions of people by just placing on the right platform. Now, the first thing I asked myself is, who has done it before? Who has done it before? I went to look for Stephanie, queen of online courses. That's what they call her. She had a product, $700 online course. As at that year, I did not have it. I did not have the $700. But I was sure, I knew what I wanted to teach, that I had done my market research to know that when I started Train Africa, it is like people have the problem I want to solve. Let's be clear. Do you understand? How do you do market research? See, Google. Look, confidence, you probably need to register for the Workplace Foundational Skills Program. Why? Like creating Google Sheets, Google Forms, Google everything. Google is free. I went to do Google Form, Google Survey. Please, so, did research. Google Form is free. It's free. I did research. I knew that means I could create a PowerPoint slide. Canva, free. PowerPoint slide, free. I created everything. Guess who I pitched it to? I went to meet my sister, the one that had money. I said, Pimpe, CEO, I want to start a business. This business is XYZ. And at this initial, there is something I call gap analysis. There's a free resource on iTrain Africa. Just go to itrainafrica.com. Click on courses. Look for free workplace skills. itrainafrica.com. Free workplace skills, like under courses. itrainafrica.com, workplace skills. As in go to the courses, you see free workplace skills. Click it. Lesson 3 of that particular thing. Lesson 3, module 1 is gap analysis. I had done gap analysis on this is what I lack. This is what I lack. This is what I would need. I knew that what I lacked was knowing how to create systems to distribute my products. What did I need? I need someone that is gap analysis. When you do gap analysis, like what is between you and the goal you want to achieve? That is gap analysis. What was between me and that thing is the knowledge on how to create platforms, courses. My problem was not money. It was, I did not have the knowledge. I can bet you more than half of you in this room that are trying to create something. Money is not the problem. You do not even have the technical know-how of that business. Have you browsed online to ask yourself, who was there before me? You've not done market research. Who is doing this thing? What knowledge don't I have? Can I pay for it? Can I sell for it? I went to my sister and said, look, why did I prepare myself? My sister is a professional to the core. She will not give you your money without knowing you have clear steps, a proposal on how that money was going to come back. And I told her, this. I want to take this online course. It is an average person that was not exposed would have said, you did not ask me to give you $700 to stock up shop, to start a business. You asked me to give you $700 to buy knowledge. But guess what? I could rationalize it and tell her that if you give me $700 and I stock up shop, that shop is going to come collapsing because I do not have the knowledge on how to run that business. So what was at the first point in my gap analysis was knowledge. I had lacked technical know-how. So and by the way, at that time, I was in the 3rd year of my PhD. So when I say technical know-how, it is not about education. I'm not talking about education. Technical know-how on how to deliver what you want to deliver. And now to pitch my sister and say, in 6 months, I'll give you your money. This $700, I will learn between January 2020 and March 2020. Between that 3 months, I will set up systems. I will do this. Between April and June, I will advertise. I will launch a course. When I launch my first course on June 20, I'll make money by July 1st. I will return your money across 6 months. I told her, even with interest. I did not go and beg for money. I had clear-cut understanding because I had done my market research. I knew what I needed. I knew what I needed. I knew what I needed. And I borrowed for it. Because what I needed was the knowledge on how to set up online courses to distribute my solution. So when people tell me, I said, no, it's not, I don't want to tell you don't need money to start a business. It is not because I'm from a privileged background. I borrowed to start my business technically because what I lacked was knowledge and I needed to pay for that knowledge. There are some that I have saved to get. If you know me, you'll be saying, oh, this woman is a big woman. On June 8th, Ibukwan Woshika, she's having live series with Ibukwan Woshika. Every single year since 2019, I have served as live series. If you've ever gone to live series with Ibukwan Woshika, go there, you will know me. I will wear sneakers, wear this. I am serving as a volunteer. Why? Because someone like that, she does not even have cost to sell. The only way I can get maybe the knowledge I need from her is to serve. Some of you need to serve before you lead. So I would say there are 2 ways to get what you lack. You pay for it, you serve for it. One must work. In every situation, one must work. And trust me, I don't give people handouts. I always tell people I don't give people handouts. If you are really intentional about getting your this thing, you would pitch for it. You will not beg for it, you will pitch for it. Because when you go to people with, you don't go to your sister and say, this one, that one, like yada, 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 give me money. No, you say, look, I want to learn a trade. This trade will bring me 30%, will give me 100,000 in 3 months. I cannot give you a entire 100,000 back. In the first 3 months, when I make 100,000, I will give you 30,000, I will reinvest 70,000. When people look at you and know you have a plan, they give you money. They're like, like she has a plan. But you will go to, I have an idea, all I need is money, I just get out. Have you learned? Do you know how the technical know-how? You need to have that. So confidence, go back to your drawing board and ask yourself, the idea I have I done market research for it? Have I followed the design thinking process for it? If you have not, you don't need money. You need to go and do research. And you need to serve under the person that has the technical know-how. If you cannot serve that person, go and pay for that person's knowledge, if they have it. That is what you need right now. Not money to start whatever business you think. If you've not done market research, money is still probably on the third step of what you need. Now, Vincent from Kenya, I did not forget your question. You said that how can you encourage brainstorming sessions to be more productive and generate truly innovative ideas? There is what we use in the innovation circle. It's called you generate 10 ideas in 10 minutes, 1 idea per minute. You know the beautiful thing? When you are thinking, when you are brainstorming, the way they design innovation circles, sprints, they put you in a diverse team. The first rule of brainstorming, don't pick people that look like you. Don't put people, because when you put people that are like you, you have the same orientation, the same cultural backgrounds, the same experience, the same level of exposure. In my brainstorming session, I have 70-year-old. I have 40-year-old. I have my dad. When I brainstorm, my idea is not what I front load. Every month, my friend Amara, who is also a man, she has a company that she runs, a 30-man company, right? We pay, we go to somewhere and go and do brainstorming session. We still went to one like 2 weeks ago. We leave one day, like we go and do brainstorming, like fresh ideas. We put it. I could show you, give me a minute. That brainstorming person, I want to show you my mirror board. Yesterday was my brainstorming session with my content team. See this board? See this board? I want you to take a good look at it. This was us brainstorming for 1 month of content. I want you to really say it. I don't say what I don't do. This was us. If you look at the dates, I'm not sure. Mirror is loading. It will soon restore my this thing. I always say, do not create avenues, create structures. Mirror board, you can open a mirror board for free. Mirror board is meant for brainstorming. Drop your ideas. When you put people, first, get people from diverse backgrounds. Number 2, put them under pressure. 10 minutes for 10 ideas. You will see people, the way people's brain will open and be working. Only give guidance of let's say, your ideas must not exceed this, it must not this thing. And no, the third thing you must establish in a brainstorming session, no idea is stupid. The only idea that is stupid is the one you leave in your head. No idea is stupid. 10 minutes for 10 ideas, it must not exceed. The moment you leave the human brain to say you have time, it will not deliver. In brainstorming sessions, it is designed that time is never enough. Why? Till date, this morning I was creating an ad. I created the cover of the ad. No, the funny thing is it's probably still opened. Let me find it. It's probably this thing, right? Immediately I designed the cover of that thing. I said, Moina. She said, yes. I said, come. The moment she got there, I was looking at her face. As the moment she got there, I said, Moina, what do you think of this cover? She was smiling. I was saying, what was your first reaction? She said, I liked it. It was catchy. Do you understand? That was the first reaction. Don't overthink it. Your first reaction is what I need. People are not supposed to overthink in a brainstorming session. The moment they overthink it, the idea is shallow, because the human brain is configured to deliver you value on the first instance. That is how diversity, time limitation, 10 ideas in 10 minutes, maximum of 10 minutes. Diverse, put them in an intense room, make sure you give room for creativity. No idea is stupid. The only idea that is stupid is the one you leave in your head. I think that is the 3 questions I'm taking this evening. Thank you so much, Confidence. Hi, Dev.
Wow.
I think I've answered 3 questions. Yeah.
So much. Thank you so much. You have really done justice to all the questions, and we sincerely appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for the value. Thank you for the knowledge. We can't actually thank you enough. And I believe the entire participants are grateful for having you this afternoon. Kindly, participant, please say a very wonderful thank you, a big thank you to our facilitator in the chat box. And it's on this note, we would like to be calling it a day. This moment, we are sincerely grateful, and we have learned a lot. And we believe you might still have 1 or 2 other engagements you still want to attend to. So we want to delay you any further. So on behalf of the project team, ADEF Africa as a whole, and the entire participants, we are saying a very big thank you, Ma, for this wonderful and enlightening section. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure teaching. I love to teach, right? Bye. Have an amazing time. I need to go right now for a 5 o'clock. Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you so much. All right, participants, I believe you have really enjoyed yourself today. And we want to say thank you for staying through. And we'll be meeting again same time next week. Do well to do your posting on your social media by attaching it with the link Champion of Change. So do attach that with the hashtag Champion of Change, and make your post about what you have learned today. And let's see you engage your community properly. So we shall be meeting next week, same time. Please ensure you block the time properly. By 3:30, we shall be seen. So do enjoy the rest of your